This is a CD case. It's the home of the discs that contain the information, that contain the music that we love. Whether it be from artists that are amongst the most beloved of our collection, or ones that we've either bought on a whim or just kind of like, but either way, they're all cased in something like this. Whether it be a slipcase, whether it be one of those double cases, double albums, whatever it may be, every CD has a home. In recent memory, of course, you could use these similar cases to case burnt CDs, where you can put whatever that you want on there. However, there's something that you shouldn't put, even on a burnt CD, let alone buy it. Yeah. You guys responded to the hidden message in the last video, and now it's going to happen. I'm here to review Slave to the Game by Emmure. Now, my opinion of Emmure was pretty much that, along the same parallel as rhinoceros piss, prior to this even coming through, even coming out, even having any sort of inkling or preconceived notion that this was going to even happen. So, of course, like Job for a Cowboy, it was time for me to listen to this album and determine whether or not my opinion on this band was going to change. Because let's face it, if my opinion of you is rhinoceros piss, it can't get much lower than that. Then you listen to the record. Then you listen to the album. Then you start to understand why people draw them comparisons to being the Limp Bizkit of deathcore. Because the vocals definitely illuminate that brilliantly. But it's not just in the way in which it's done. It's just the whole methodology behind it. It's a combined effort of ridiculous Fred Durstians, or Fred Durstides, whatever you wish to say, however you wish to explain it, lumped in with typical deathcore blandness. And then you even throw in, just as an added bonus, as though this combo pack, this value meal, wasn't enough. Vocally, you throw in things that sound like it should be on a Day to Remember record. You throw those three into a pot. You start stirring with a big wooden spoon, and you know what happens? You know what they want to have happen? They want that spoon to eat itself and corrode to the point in which there is no spoon. But no, instead what happens is that the spoon's intact and it's crying because you put it in this. You put it in this ridiculous concoction that it doesn't want to be around, it doesn't want to touch, it was begging you not to do it, but you did it anyway. You exposed it to it. The music that surrounds this is the same boring deathcore that have been heard tedious numbers of times by tedious bands. I just reviewed a band that started off as deathcore and evolved. They evolved into something that is, well, reminiscent somewhat of their roots. However, they have since evolved into something more, transcending the singularity of the genre and becoming a more dynamic, a more all-embracing band. Emmure is not that band. Emmure is not going to sacrifice their deathcore fame and glory just to try some experimentation. They are not going to sacrifice and potentially alienate the legions of bros that they have made throughout their tours relentlessly of America and abroad. They're not going to give all of that up. No! You know why? Because they realized and recognized that their mediocrity and their piss-poor excuse of music sells. It's just the same as Lady Gaga. Now, I know some people like her. I understand. She tried something with Born This Way, and it alienated a lot of people and pissed a lot of people off. Gained some other fans. But she tried something different. Did Emmure? No. They didn't. Instead, you just have one album of theirs. You might as well just place it on repeat. Because you're going to be getting the same ridiculous nonsense that you heard on that record. The only difference, the only preconceivable difference, is that whenever you look on the back of the little CD case, it says 2012 instead of 2006 or 2008 or 2010 or 2000 whatever. I do not get why a band like this even has any bearing in mind in music. This is one of the worst albums that I've heard so far this year, and that's saying a lot, because thus far I've not had a lot to complain about, so it's hitting the bar pretty high. But here's the thing, I not only consider this the worst album I've listened to this year, I have to actually make comparisons. I would listen to Pilgrim's album, Misery Wizard, which I gave a decrepit score, 10,000 times over this. Right now, I'm begging myself to throw on a Lud Divinium Insanus by Morbid Angel, and I bet you any money, I bet you $1 million fucking dollars, that if I listened to Lulu by Metallica and Lou Reed, it would sound amazing. It would sound like the album of the year. Anything that you listen to after listening to this atrocious pile of bile is going to sound majestic, almost as though it was handed down by the music gods itself, like Excelsior. You would think to yourself, this is what music is all about, this is glorious, and then you look down and you realize, fuck, I just listened to Justin Bieber. Okay, maybe that comparison's taking it a little too far, but you really have to wonder now that I've said it, is it true? Is it? I do believe so. Ooh. This album, and anything else by them, is just absolute nonsensical garbage. If I saw these guys on tour with a bunch of bands that I wanted to see, I would fall asleep during the set. And then a bunch of bros would come up to me and be like, "Hey bro, why are you sleeping, man? You don't sleep during Emmure, man. For shizzle, for rizzle, dizzle, fizzle, shizzle, dizzle. I hope that there's no drizzle outside so my hair doesn't get all frizzled, man. I want to go shizzle in the shake and fizzle." Bro, get your swag on. Now, the only bro that I'm going to respond to in this video is a nice cool story bro, because I don't give a shit. I would fall asleep during one of their sets. I would easily destroy one of their CDs via steamroller if I had a steamroller capable. It's to the point where I'm so enraged at just the fact that these people make money, that this right here means nothing to me. It's shaking just like I am, because all I can think about are people holding the actual album, holding this actual CD that I am reviewing, having it be right in there, or having it in a burnt copy, and me having it in my hands and just touching it. Because that is the only thing that should be done. Complete and total fucking destruction. These guys are not the most devastating band. No. This is the most devastating pile of shit that has potentially ever been spawned.